All right, so for our review here, Gavin, we've got two people at the board. It is Lana and it is Brecken. And at any time while I'm talking, they can start writing their answer down. Shorthand certainly permitted. And we'll see who can be the first to put the chalk in the tray with the correct answer. So that's my clue that you are done writing. You put the chalk in the tray. Make sense? So until the chalk is down, I assume you're still thinking. Once the chalk is down, your answer is final. All right. What do we call the geometric instrument used to draw straight lines? The geometric instrument used to draw straight lines. Straight edge is correct. Point for Poco. Poco. All right, next two. Quickly. In fact, let's have people waiting in the wings, so to speak. So two people going. You have a seat. The next two kind of be up and ready to go, so we can move quickly through this. All right.
Twin battle.
What term is the? There we go. We got twins up against each other. What is the intersection of two planes? The intersection of two planes.
No.
Too late. All right, it is a line. No point. Next two. Next two. What do we call any limited portion of a line? Limited portion of a line. Line segment. Line segment. Point for Grande. All right, so we are tied 1-1. Next two. Two line segments whose endpoints can be made to coincide. Line segments whose endpoints can be made to coincide. Equal line segments is correct. Point for Grande. Next two. Next two. Point that divides a line into two equal segments. Point that divides a line into two equal segments. Midpoint is correct. Point for Poco. Next two.
I didn't even have time to think.
I don't say go. You start writing whenever. Geometric instrument used to measure line segments. Geometric instrument used to measure line segments. Point for Grande. Compass is correct. Compass. Next two. Next two. Lines or figures formed using only a compass and straight edge. Lines or figures formed using only a compass or straight edge. Construction is correct. Point for Poco. Construction.
How do you spell that? I'm ready
to finish the statement, if the first is greater than the second and the second is greater than the third, then the first is greater than the third. Point for Grande. You could have wrote 1ST greater than 3RD and it would have worked.
Oh, I just want to put one.
I have like the worst hammer.
Greater than 3.
All right. Let's see. Two angles are said to be equal if their blank can be made to coincide. Angles are equal if their blank can be made to coincide. Sides can be made to coincide. Point for Poco. Next two. Next two. Let's see what's the score. 4-4. Tied game right now. What do we call the line through the vertex of an angle that divides it into two equal angles or two equal halves? Line through the vertex of an angle that divides it into two equal angles. It is the angle bisector. Point for Poco. Next two. Oh my, what just happened?
What just happened?
What do we call the point where the sides of an angle come together? The point where the sides of an angle meet.
I'm like done.
The point where the sides of an angle meet. Point for Grande. Vertex is correct. The vertex is the point where the sides of an angle meet. Next two. What do we call an angle whose sides make one complete revolution? An angle whose sides make one complete revolution. That is not correct, Grande. Paragon is correct. Point for Poco. Paragon. Paragon. All right, next two. Two angles that have a common vertex and a common side between them are referred to as. You could just put ADJ, it would have worked. Adjacent angles. Adjacent, ADJ. Point for Poco. By all means, use shorthand, it's faster. All right. What do we call an angle whose sides form one straight line? An angle whose sides form one straight line. Oh, straight angle. Point for Poco. All right. The angles formed. Oh, we got siblings going here. The angles formed when one straight line meets another to form equal adjacent angles. Angles form when one straight line meets another to form equal adjacent angles. Right angles is correct. Point for Poco. Right angles. Remember, vertical angles are not adjacent, so that can't be it. Right angles is correct. What do we call lines that meet to form right angles? Lines that meet to form right angles.
No. I forgot.
It is perpendicular. Point for Grande. The upside down T is the correct shorthand. An angle that is greater than a right angle but less than a straight angle. Obtuse is correct. Point for Poco.
Can we just like draw obtuse angle?
No, there is no shorthand for obtuse angle. You just have to write obtuse. Two angles whose sum is a straight angle. Two angles whose sum is a straight angle. Supplementary is correct. SUPP, Grande. Gotta use the shorthand. Oh, you have to. We've used it a lot. All right, next two. The non-adjacent angles formed when two straight lines intersect. The non-adjacent angles. Good. Vertical angles, Grande. Vertical angles are the non-adjacent angles formed when two straight lines intersect. All right, an angle that is less than a right angle. An angle that is less than a right angle. Acute is correct. Point for Grande. Closing the gap. It's 10-9. Poco still leads, but the lead is diminishing. The lead is becoming more acute. I don't know. It's worth a try. All right. Two angles whose sum is a right angle. Two angles whose sum is a right angle.
Does that work? No.
Drop it.
Complementary is correct. Point for Poco. Complementary. Point for Poco. COMP is our shorthand. What do we call 1/360th of a paragon? 1/360th of a paragon. A degree is correct. He even included the symbol with his answer. Very thorough. That's pure domination. Flexing on his brother there.
Yeah, boy, you got nothing.
Don't pick on your little bro that way. All right. What is 1/60th of a degree? 1/60th of a degree. A minute is correct. Point for Grande. And class, what would be a 60th of a minute? A second. All right. Next two. Next two. What is the instrument used to measure angles? The instrument used to draw and measure angles. It is protractor. No point. Protractor. Next two.
Oh, wait. Gosh, that was all of their answers. I wasn't copying anything. I started beforehand.
Yeah. It's okay. Geometric figure bounded by three straight lines. Triangle is correct. You can just draw a triangle. That's the shorthand. It pays to know the shorthand. It is now 13-10. Poco is starting to widen the lead. This is really just a competition to see who knows their shorthand. All right. Or at least that's how it feels right now. All right, next two. In a triangle, a line drawn from a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side is called a line in a triangle that goes from a vertex to a midpoint of the midpoint of the opposite side.
Oh, I think I know something. I can't look at that.
Oh, did he drop his chalk yet?
No.
Median is correct. Grande.
I was looking for one of y'all maybe to do this or something.
Median of a triangle, vertex to midpoint. I say, don't forget your point. All right, next two. An angle formed by extending one side of a polygon through the vertex. Angle formed by extending one, I can't read it. Exterior angle. Exterior angle is an angle formed by extending one side of a polygon through the vertex. Next two. I guess I could look at, no I can't. Okay. You got 6 minutes. All right. Line drawn in a triangle from a vertex perpendicular to the opposite side.
No, not on the.
Ooh. The both chalk dropped at the same time, but one I can read and one I can't. It is the altitude. Point for Grande. Point for Grande. The sum of the three angles of a triangle. The sum of the three angles of a triangle. Straight angle is correct. Point for Poco. Point for Poco. And Poco has Grande points, and Grande has Poco points. Well, not by much. It's actually pretty close. All right. Next two, a triangle that has no sides equal. A triangle with no sides equal. You can't ask for help. None of that. Scalene is correct. Point for Poco. Scalene, point for Poco. All right, the face keeps changing. All right. A triangle with all three sides equal. A triangle with all three sides equal.
Boom up my brain. No, stop. That's too late. Yeah.
He's absolutely flexing on right now. Equilateral triangle is correct. Point for Grande.
My brain is dead.
Next two. A triangle with one obtuse angle. A triangle with one obtuse angle. Obtuse triangle is correct. Point for Poco. Obtuse triangle. Point for Poco. A triangle with at least two sides equal. A triangle with at least two sides equal. Point for Grande, isosceles. Point for Grande. Did Grande get the point? There we go. Grande got the point. All right. In a right triangle, what do we call the sides that form the right angle? In a right triangle, what do we call the sides? We'll go with Grande. I actually couldn't tell who dropped the chalk first, which is what I was going off of. Point for Grande. Poco graciously conceding the point. All right. We got 17-15. It's getting close. What do we call the side of a right triangle opposite the right angle? Hypotenuse is correct. Point for Grande. HYP is the shorthand. That's what I had you write in your notes. Hypotenuse is HYP. All right. We don't use it very often, frankly, but it's there. All right. A line in a polygon that joins non-consecutive vertices. A line in a polygon that joins non-consecutive vertices.
I don't think it's right.
Diagonal is correct. Point for Grande. We have a tie game. No. Grande coming back. It is now 17 all. A polygon that has all angles equal. A polygon with all angles equal. Equiangular is correct. Point for Grande. Grande takes the first lead of the game.
I knew that for a triangle.
It's also true of a polygon. Equiangular is correct. Equiangular. Hey, get out of the way. All right, next two. A polygon that is both equilateral and equiangular. A polygon that is both equilateral and equiangular. That is not correct.
Oh, come on. That's my best guess.
Regular, no point. A regular polygon is equilateral and equiangular. Next two. A closed curve in a plane, all of whose points are equidistant from a fixed point, called the center. A closed curve in a plane, all of whose points are equidistant from a fixed point, called the center. It is a circle. Point for Poco. It is a circle. Point for Poco.
We're tied again.
All right. Any line segment that has its endpoints on a circle. Any line segment that has its endpoints on a circle. Chord. Point for Grande. Grande back again with the 1 point lead. 19-18. Ooh. All right. Any line drawn from the center of a circle to any point on the circle. Point on a circle to any, there we go, radius. From center to any point on a circle. Point for Grande. Radius. Any limited portion of a circle is called, and I can't read it, arc is correct. Point for Grande.
Whoa,
Arc.
what?
I didn't even see him right. All I saw was
He was writing while I was shushing everyone else. He already figured out what the answer was. All right, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. What is the geometric instrument used to draw arcs and circles? Geometric instrument used to draw arcs and circles. Compass is correct. Point for Poco.
do blue.
All right, figures which have the same size and shape and can be made to coincide throughout. Congruent is correct. Point for
Oh,
Poco.
we're tied now.
Congruent. It's tied again at 20 now.
No.
No, we got 21. After I pull my finger.
Oh, I see. A general statement that is accepted without proof to be true. Axiom is correct. Now we're tied at 21. There we go. Tied at 21. Axiom is correct.
What happened to the FA?
The sum of all the angles about a point on one side of a straight line. The sum of all the angles about a point on one side of a straight line equals a straight angle. Point for Grande.
I said straight line.
Straight angle.
Bro, it looks like you're trying to do angle, but like
I was, and I was like, no,
Wait,
yeah,
can you put
no.
your point?
Whoever put it back.
Finish the statement. The sum of two sides of a triangle will always be the sum of two sides of a triangle will always be greater than the third side. Point for Grande. Greater than the third side.
I need a picture.
No.
Oh, goodness gracious. And if that's the last question, we didn't get through all the stuff I wanted to ask. I didn't ask about, stay back there for a minute just please. I didn't get to ask about theorem and proof and corollary and identity and CPCTE, auxiliary line, converse statement, indirect proof. Exterior angle of a triangle class is always going to be greater than either opposite interior angle. Lines that are everywhere the same distance apart, therefore never intersect. Parallel. And there's a whole bunch of parallel stuff. We just taught that. That's more recent anyway. So our final is Grande 23?
23 to
23, Poco. Stay back for just a second. 21. So Grande, you all will receive an extra credit point on your test tomorrow. No homework other than get studied up and get your notebooks ready. You are dismissed.